two important things about biting. Number one, where you get the most bang for your buck and where change really happens is by intervening before. I'll explain that in a moment. Number two is when it happens to step in and stop the danger and keep your child safe. So for example, when your child is playing, if biting is an issue, you want to be very close to him so you can notice any signs it's about to happen. That's where you actually change the circuit. Pull your child aside when you notice escalation before the biting and say, oh, our bodies are having a hard time being calm. Let's take some deep breaths together. Oh, let's calm our bodies. I know it's hard to share the blocks. Now, if the biting happens, which sometimes is inevitable, pull your child aside and say firmly, I won't let you bite. Then what's key is to not blame, not shame, and say, you're having a hard time. I'm here to help you stay safe. A few things here. Number one, what I'd ask everyone to consider is how did I learn that a kid's big emotional display makes them a brat? I really mean that question. We weren't born with that idea, and it's important to ask yourself that. Whose idea is that? Is that how my family of origin probably interacted with me? Is that something they say? Do I come from a family that kind of really values kind of overt on the surface, compliant behavior? It's really important for us to be honest with ourselves about the things we took in from our family, because that's what gets activated with our kids. Number two, having tantrums does not make a kid a brat. I don't believe in the term brat in general, but what I will say is I think we all want our kids to be able to manage difficult emotions when they come later in life. And to do that, we have to help them regulate their emotions when they're young. And regulation starts with allowing and permitting emotions when they're there. And then going through what we need to go through with our kids to teach them how to regulate feelings. But we can't regulate feelings that we don't recognize and allow. And tantrums are part of that. So tantrums don't make a kid a brat. We want to teach them regulation to manage those feelings. What's key here is preparation. Whenever there's a situation that your child gets upset at over and over, we have to think what we're doing to help our child and at times our kid's not upset when they're calm. So if this is the car seat situation, I would find sometimes when you don't have to go anywhere and kind of say, hey sweetie, it's been hard to get in the car seat. We're gonna practice. It's funny, we're gonna go, we're gonna do it, but we're not really going anywhere. Maybe I'll even go first. And here's something I learned that if before we do something hard, we put our hand on our chest and we say to ourselves, it's hard, I can do it. It's hard, I can do it. It gets a little easier. So we're gonna go to the car. And on our way, we're both gonna say that. Let's do it. And then I do a dry run, make it silly, make it fun, give your kid a high five after. And this will help him be more prepared and have a regulation skill to use when the real thing comes. We often don't want to use too many distractions around a tantrum because when we do, we actually teach our kids that those feelings scare us, that we can't handle it. So we distract them away from the tantrum. But that gets in the way of our kid feeling like we're a sturdy leader. And it's important for our kids to feel like we can handle their emotions because that's the only way they learn how to handle their emotions and not be scared of them. So the next time your child tantrums, get to a safe place and just say, let it out, sweetie, I'm here.